What's up, guys? This is Professor MJ, and today I've got 6 MLB picks for you for Wednesday, July 23rd. And also, do not forget that this is your last chance to enter my free baseball prediction contest where you could win $100 US. Details towards the end of this video, so stick around, my friend. Alright, so the last time I talked to you was Monday, where I shared 4 free plays. And you know what? We got an 0-4 record, so this was very disappointing, especially since I had many picks that I felt very confident. Now, the next day, yesterday, I did not have time to post a video, but I did release a write-up. If you go on my YouTube channel, I will do that on occasion. So if you go to the post right here, then you can see yesterday I presented 4 picks for July 22nd. Since I had no time to do a video, but I still shared 4 plays, and all of those picks were winners. So basically, we have accumulated 4 wins and 4 losses so far this week. So we took the Mets, the Yankees, the Marlins, and also the Rangers against the Athletics. All right, so if we go back to today, my first pick goes to the Cincinnati Reds to win straight up in Washington. So in other words, I'm taking Cincy's money line, and this is a 3-star pick. All right, so in this case, Cincinnati will attempt to break a 3-game losing streak as they take on Washington inside National Park this afternoon. Now, the Reds fit under a betting system called the Hot Bats number 1. Here's how it goes. Fade the home team if they either won their last 2 games by scoring at least 6 runs in each of those wins, or if the home team has won 4 straight games by scoring at least 5 runs in each of those victories. Now, if you focus on the home club here, Washington, they have won their last 2 contests by scoring 10 and 6 runs respectively. So by following those rules, we must bet against Washington, and that explains the pick on the Cincinnati Reds. Now, a word of caution. This betting system has not performed very well this year, and honestly, this is not one of my highest confidence betting systems in MLB out of the 19 that I have developed and that I often talk about in my daily videos. But in this case, I still like the play after doing my due diligence on this matchup. Well, we obviously have a pretty significant edge in the pitching department right here, as Nick Lodolo is enjoying a breakout season with marked improvement with his numbers. His whip stat has gone from 1.20 last year to 1.08 this season, so there has not been a lot of traffic on the bases when he's been on the mound. So for those of you who are not familiar with the whip stat, we're talking about the number of walks plus hits per inning pitched. All right, and also Lodolo has allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last 6 starts. So that's quite impressive. And meanwhile, his counterpart will be Soroka, whose ERA sits at 5.10, which is awful. But granted, his whip stat is quite good, and it suggests that he's been very unlucky so far this year. His whip stat is 1.15, which shows he has been better than average, even though his ERA has been quite high. But still, I like Cincinnati to avoid getting swept. I like picking teams that are trying to avoid a sweep. Obviously, I'm not doing that every single time that the team is facing a sweep, but it is one of the factors that I consider in my decision process. Also, it's worth noting that the Nationals have lost their last 7 games when Soroka was the starter. All right, my second selection is to go with the over in the San Diego-Miami game. More precisely, I'm taking over 7.5 runs to be scored, so I expect at least 8 runs to be scored in this match. All right, so in this case, based on how Alcantara has been pitching in 2025, he could give up 8 runs just by himself. He showed signs of life during the month of June, but he is back to misery after posting a dreadful 8.61 ERA across his last 4 appearances on the mound. So over the entire season, Sandy Alcantara's ERA has been 7.14 along with a very poor 1.49 whip stat. So it doesn't get much uglier than this. Now he's really struggling to regain his form following Tommy John surgery. And on the other side, we have Dylan Cease, who will get the nod for the Padres. He has had an up and down season. He looked fantastic 5 days ago when he tossed 5 1/3 scoreless innings while fanning 10 batters in Washington. But if you look at his previous 5 outings, he posted a 6.51 ERA, which was not good at all. Now, he does have a high strikeout rate, but I think the Marlins will still find a way to put some runs on the board, especially at home. If you focus on Dylan Cease's ERA at home this year, it's been 3.48, but things have not gone so well on the road as shown by his 5.68 away ERA. Alright, so this is pick number 2. Now let's move on to my third selection of the day, and it goes to the Seattle Mariners, and as you can see on your screen, this is a 5-star play, so this means this is a premium pick that I have shared to my gold members at mjpicks.com. So the Mariners is one of the picks that I like the most today. Now, all good things must come to an end, says the old adage. And yesterday, Milwaukee's amazing 11-game winning streak came to its conclusion following a 1-0 defeat in Seattle. Now, this great run allowed the Brew Crew to be co-leaders of the NL Central Division with the Chicago Cubs. Both clubs have a 60-41 record right now. So how will the Brewers react following this long winning streak that was broken last night? Well, you know what? According to historical data, the Brewers are likely to lose a second consecutive match. So let's review a betting system that I have developed in 2019, which is called the Snap Winning Streak. It recommends betting against the road team if they lost their previous game after winning at least 5 in a row. And like I said a few seconds ago, well, the Brewers are on the road. They lost their last game after winning 11 straight contests. And by the way, I like this system even more when the winning streak lasted at least 10 games. So you can see at the bottom of your screen the profit that we made by following those rules from 2010 to 2016. And now, starting in 2019, I started tracking the performance of my 19 systems every single day, and this betting strategy continued to rack up some profit. This is one of the systems that I like the most. Maybe not in the top 5, but maybe my 6th or 7th favorite betting angle out of the 19 that I have developed. Now we also have an exciting pitching duel on the menu as Quinn Priester will battle Luis Castillo. Now Milwaukee's starter is coming off a fantastic start against the Dodgers. He lasted 6 innings, giving up just 3 hits with 0 run and 0 walk against a very potent offense. After such a stellar performance, I expect Priester to have a letdown game today. And also, he has not been as effective on the road as he's been at home this year. Priester's whip stat is 1.38 away from home versus 1.01 at home. And meanwhile, Luis Castillo is definitely rounding into form. He has picked up the win in each of his last 3 starts, while squandering just 3 runs across 18 and 2/3 innings in July. So that corresponds to a tiny 1.45 ERA. Also, if you look at his home ERA since 2023, it's been 2.86 versus 4.10 on the road. So Castillo has been very difficult to beat in Seattle. So those are all the reasons why I am taking the Mariners as a 5-star selection for today, July 23rd. So my fourth MLB pick for today is the Cleveland Guardians to win at home against Baltimore, and this is a 3-star selection. So in this case, the Orioles qualify under the hot bat system that I talked to you about earlier, but in this case, I hate the play so much that I have decided to go against its recommendation by taking their opponents, the Guardians. So one of the reasons is the fact that I hate, So first, Zach Eflin is returning from a stint on the sidelines due to a back injury. Now, will he bring his A game? I don't think so. And he's done poorly in 2025 as shown by his very high 5.95 ERA. Now, I like Slade Cecconi's progress this year. After posting a high 6.66 ERA last season with the D-backs, the young 26-year-old brought down his ERA to 3.84 in his first season with the Guardians. And also, Cleveland's bats have been red hot lately. They have scored a total of 46 runs in their last 7 games, so that is an average of 6.6 runs scored per game. And also, Cleveland in general has been red hot lately. They have picked up the W in 10 of their last 12 games. And meanwhile, the Orioles are 1-4 since the All-Star break. So for all these reasons, I am siding with the Guardians to win straight up against Baltimore. All right, we have 2 more picks to go, including my upset play of the day. So don't miss out on this selection, which will be my 6th pick. But for now, you may not be surprised by the pick if you watched my video on Monday. I'm taking the Yankees moneyline in Toronto. Because on Monday, I said that I highly recommended to bet New York to win the series in Toronto. Now, both clubs have won a game thus far, so it all comes down to today's contest to determine if the wager is a win or a loss. Now, to me, the Jays will suffer a second consecutive defeat. I think the Bronx Bombers will carry the momentum following a dramatic victory yesterday. They finally got the monkey off their back after losing 5 in a row in Toronto. And New York has a great candidate to defeat the Jays as Max Fried will take the mound. He is 3-0 along with a solid 1.74 ERA in 5 career starts against the Blue Jays. Now, meanwhile, Chris Bassitt has also enjoyed good success in his career against New York, but he's not done very well against the Yankees this season. In fact, he started twice against New York this year, posting a 5.56 ERA. So ultimately, I've decided to bet the Yankees money line. I think they will cut Toronto's lead in the AL East division today. All right, and now it's time for my 6th and final pick of the day, and it is my upset pick of the day. Yes, I am taking the Athletics to beat the Rangers in Arlington. Well, facing Patrick Corbin is obviously contributed to this selection. He was one of the worst MLB starters across the last 5 years, but he's been surprisingly good in 2025. But I still think he is vulnerable. And also, the Athletics offense has been hit or miss this season, and I believe they will rack up multiple runs against Corbin tonight in Arlington. Now, I had high expectations with respect to JP Sears entering the 2025 campaign, and he's been disappointing me. His ERA is 5.13, but his whip stat has been decent. It currently stands at 1.28. Now remember that the league average is around 1.30. So that shows that JP Sears has been an average pitcher, so despite a quite high ERA. Now, Sears faltered in his last outing 5 days ago by surrendering 7 runs to Cleveland. But if you focus on his prior 3 starts, he had done quite well. In total, he allowed 3 earned runs in 16 and 2/3 innings, along with 16 punch-outs. And that was accomplished against the Braves, the Giants, and the Yankees, which makes it even more impressive. And also, the A's are also looking to avoid a sweep, so that is, like I said earlier, another factor that I like to consider in my decision-making process. So that's why I've decided to go with the Athletics to pull off the upset in Texas today against Patrick Corbin, who I don't trust at all. All right, now before I let you go, it's time to remind you that today is your last chance to enter my free prediction contest where you could win $100. Remember, the rules are quite simple. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I gave you the opportunity to make a pick on each game, on each of the 15 games of the day, and you had to grade each pick from 1 to 15. So, for example, if you take the Guardians and use a 8 points, a grade of 8. If they win, you get 8 points. If they lose, you get 0. So, and the person with the highest daily score wins the $100 cash prize. So let me show you what is the highest score so far this week. So on Monday, the highest score was obtained by Pierre Morin, who got 78 points. He was followed by Patrick Tanguay, who got 75, and so on. You can see the top 7 on Monday. So remember that the highest score here is 78, but unfortunately for our friend Pierre Morin, he got beaten on Tuesday by Michael. Sorry, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his name. I'm really because I don't want to screw it. So good job, my friend Michael. You got 86 points, so he is the current leader. This is the score to beat on Wednesday. Otherwise, Michael will rack up the $100 cash prize. And interestingly enough, I got the second place. I'm just playing the game for fun. Obviously, if I end up having the highest score, I'm going to give up the $100 to the person who finishes in second place. So good luck, Michael. He's probably crossing his fingers that nobody will beat 86 points. So a quick reminder that you can enter this contest simply by going at mjpix.com. Now you need to have an account in order to participate in the contest. So just sign up there. If you don't want to pay for my premium picks, just select the free plan and you will be eligible to participate in my free prediction contest where you can win cash prizes. All right, so you have until noon today to enter the contest because we have a game that starts at 12:05. All right, so a big thank you for watching my video. I invite you to click the thumbs up button or to comment your best picks of the day in the comments below. I'm Professor MJ. It's been great talking to you. I'll see you again soon. Cheers, my friend.